Imagine being a 8 to 14-year-old child in circumstances ranging from poverty to developmental delays to abuse, and you feel scared, confused. Then imagine that a trusted teacher offers you the opportunity to join an art program where all you have to do is play. Well, Empezarte does just that, providing at-risk children with a path through art therapy to awaken joy, overcome trauma, and develop self-esteem and confidence. Artistic and creative activities have long been recognized as some of the most important tools for human development, enhancing social interaction and providing therapeutic assistance for a variety of psychological conditions. Today, Empezarte director Oscar Aguirre, who is an internationally acclaimed artist, will share how this nonprofit transforms troubled children through art therapy. Oscar is a professional whose work has been widely exhibited in museums throughout Mexico, the US, and Europe. He previously co-directed Kunst Haus here in San Miguel. Locally, he has taught sculpture at the Bellas Artes Ignacio Ramírez Center. And I don't know if you know it or not, but I am related to Vincent van Gogh. So I know a little about art. So please help us welcome Oscar to Rotary.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Please just, sorry, my English is not really good, but maybe good enough. We'll see. Let me just begin. I'm not local. I'm from Durango in the north of Mexico, but I moved to San Miguel 26 years ago, so I'm from here now. So, Empezarte is a project, or let me just begin, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Empezarte is a project I began years ago because I saw the education in Mexico always we are copying US, and that is horrible. It's the worst mistake we always do because there are completely different cultures. So we begin just reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce. And then in some point, I found they were no social helpers in the schools. So I thought, what's going on if some of the kids need help for some reason? So then I began thinking and developing with a friend this project about art therapy. Art therapy is a program, activity to begin in Europe, in England, after the Second War. And then from there, it begins developing and developing and developing. When it came into my hands, I thought that will be the answer because many of the kids really needs help. It's not only because the drugs, it's because many living situations, because poverty, many times being rich is a big problem. And once we found the kids, it's like, wow, it's a lot to do. How we work? You see more or less how it helps to the kids. What we do is through the art, they found the way to express themselves. It's not always joyful. Many times it's really hard for them because they have to open black windows and they have to face it. Then the work we do, I didn't, is the therapist. They have masters in art therapy and family therapy. What they do is give them tools to know how to deal with these problems, with these situations, particularly when they are back in the problem. Many times it's the house. Many times the problem comes from the parents, whatever situation, then from the street. Now in the schools, the aggressiveness is more and more and more everywhere, not only Mexico. So that is more or less what we do and how we do. How we work let me, here. We go to the schools and we talk with the director about what we can do, and they don't have to pay nothing. It's absolutely free. Usually, we found absolutely open doors with the directors because they know they need help, because they don't want to have problems inside. And with no social helpers, it's like who is going to help with this problem? So once we begin with that, they come to the studio. I have a studio, my own studio, and then the kids and the therapists, they begin working there. There are many ways to work: painting, drawing, blah, 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 all what we know. Clay is the gold tool, because what we do, the therapists really, they see how it's going on every session. So then you will see the therapy is in group. You have to trust your group, and you know you are protected in that group, and you are protecting the other ones to the group because you know all the secrets, all the good or the bad, you know it. So what it happens, once they begin opening, is when we see is working. But many cases is really difficult to help the kids to open. Then you give them clay. The clay is a miracle, because what do you see? Once they have the clay in the hands, they don't have to do nothing. And we didn't tell them to do. It's just do it, as you were saying, play. You will see many times immediately they begin talking, other times crying. Sorry. The thing is to find the way to help them because they really need help. It's a big, big situations. Last year, people contact me from China. I was surprised. I said, wow, what I did in China, or what is that? And it was this group, they want to talk to me about experience because they said, you know, we need help. We are developing programs, but we are a little blind. We don't know what to do. Once we have the Zoom, I was surprised they were worse than we think. Because these people told me once we have tons of money, the problems begin. Before we have money, it was fine. You have to deal with everything. But with the money, you have everything you want. Then your brain is not ready to do that. So we begin talking about, so it was great to know the art therapy will really help because they already implanted a program there. And then let me just check. I think is more or less what it happens in the schools. Oh, we changed last year. We changed the program. Instead of the kids coming to the studio, we begin trying into the schools. Particularly one of the schools, Independencia School, have big problems with drugs, particularly. So we went there and we have to introduce the program. And just I say, you know, we want to try here, but it's not easy because once the kids finish, they're not going to come back with us. I say, you know, I propose why you teachers didn't sacrifice 1 hour, whatever class it is, and then we get the kids in one of the classrooms, we make the sessions, and then we will see what happened. And you will let us know if it's working, if it's not too bad, they lost 1 hour every week. We begin to do that, but then we have to talk to the parents. Usually, any of the parents comes to the first meeting. Usually, the mother, some of the aunt, or somebody. Never the father, never, with exceptions. And then that time we say, okay, we need to talk to them. We will see if they don't want to kill us. We'll see. We have the meeting. The surprise it was everyone came, father and mother, grandmother, whatever. They were really interested. And just once we finished, we thought, we begin talking like, what we think is that? Because usually, regularly, they didn't come. They don't care. If it's help, it's okay, okay, help them. But it's not, it's fine. Anyway, they have problems, so they bring problems. What we saw, it was, since this school and these parents particularly, mainly of them related with drugs, selling, using, whatever, whatever, sorry, just we thought and we saw they found a way to help because they cannot help the kids. So just we thought, that is great. At least they are understanding what is that about. So that is more or less. Oh, in the orphanage is the other option we found in some point. That is really more terrible than the schools because you can believe how much of these people is abandoned, alone, whatever. But we try to do as more as we can do. One of the things is we cannot do it alone. It's impossible. We have to work in group. Many times we feel we can do it and we are hard enough, or strong enough, or money enough, but it's not true. It has to be through groups, through collaboration. Is the only way will work. What I see here is the future in Mexico. Now the situations, we didn't talk about everything, but politically in the world is crazy. Now we are feeling now, we usually have support through people, through companies. Now with all this going on is much less because nobody knows what is going on, what is going to happen in the end or whatever it happened. As they say, the program is free, nobody pay nothing, but in some point we thought, what is for free? People didn't appreciate it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go, but it's nothing. What we found, the kids have to help the therapist to clean, to whatever, what they use. Not clean the space, just clean the tools or whatever. Sometimes they help the younger to understand or to do part of the process. That's more or less how we do it. We begin from 8 to 9 until 14, sometimes 15, depends if it's a problematic person or a person who really needs help. Once we begin working, as I told you, it's a group session, a group work. Once we see it's a heavy problem with one of them or a few of them, we work with them independent, person by person, no charge. The therapists, they do it in their own offices. So that is more or less how it works. Um, Another thing, many people ask me for helping volunteering. It's impossible. How you go into the therapy session and you help? There's no way. There's no way to do it. And what we do before, we do it to just prepare the session for the therapist. Usually it's just themselves doing. Sometimes I help, but usually it's not. And what it happens after is the therapist. He has to review, she has to review what is going on to prepare, set up everything, more or less. What we do in this is what we found our goal, as we were talking a little earlier. The end of the therapy is just giving all these guys tools to fight in the world. What it is in the house, what it is in the school, what it is in the streets. And it's amazing when you see results, because you see them in 6 months, you see the difference. You see they can begin to talk, they are less shy or they are less aggressive, just because they understand what is the problem. We are not making a miracle, it's not. Just this woman in England to discover the possibility of the art therapy, she found it and she says, this is amazing. Just if you express yourself, that's enough to help. And the other thing, the expression usually is not verbal. They didn't talk. Usually what they do through drawing, sketching, through the clay, that is enough. But when they begin talking, it's like, wow, they are safe. Sorry. Doing that is really difficult because you see the kids many times when you can do nothing really in the end. It's like, well, what a shame. Usually 99.9 we can do. But many times the point when they go back to the family or when they go back, what is the problem is when you see we need to work with them too. And sometimes we do. We invite them to some sessions trying to help. You didn't really advise, just you try to give them tools to try to help the kids. More or less is what we do. I tell you again, we cannot do it alone. It has to be collaboration, it has to be through group. We thanks to the Rotary to invite us because only spreading the voice of what is going on and what we can do, that is the only way. So I don't know, please let me know. I don't know, I skipped something. You see more or less what is the benefits of the kids, more or less what I told you. It's a lot to talk. We need, I think, 10 sessions to really explain you what it is, and you will be amazed what it is. But as I told you, mainly is help. Is helping, trying to help. We were laughing a little because we work with private schools and the public schools. And you will laugh because the private schools, usually they don't have problems. Everything is fine. Like I say, oh, okay, well, good luck with that. And you know, the surprise, the public schools, always they are open to the help. It's amazing. I was surprised when I begin, because I thought they are going to begin checking what is going on, why these guys want to help without any money behind or what is there. And I said, I want to change my politicians in the future. I want to have a better future, and they are the future. They are the now, but mainly they are the future. And if I help 10 is a lot. I don't need to help them all because that will be impossible. But if you do a little, we are doing something. So I don't know now if you have question, please. Let me check if I skip something.
Hola. So I have many questions. First, so how many schools are you attending and how's the process? You are attending one group at a time, the whole school, which grades?
Uh-huh. Everything depends how much money we have. Usually we don't have money. A lot of the money, or many of the money, come from my own studio. I'm an artist, so I paint. My art didn't sell as I wish because that money, part of that money, helps and supports that. But as I told you, through donations is how we do. That depends how many schools. Usually, 2 schools at time. When we are almost broken, one school. And what we do, we work with a group, usually one group, because the director or the teachers, they tell us which ones they feel they need help or they are the problematic if aggressiveness is something there. So we never really know how many. The goal will be to work at least 3 constantly, but always is like waves. Sometimes we can do it, other times we cannot do it.
It's three a month or
Yeah,
three
yeah,
a month?
3 a month. Because it's one session a week. It's 1.5 hours, 2 hours, depends on the kids. Because many times the session is really heavy, and half hour is enough. If everyone begins to open, it's like, okay, we don't want to make a trauma because they open. So we need to be careful with that. So it's one session a week. So just we can work in the 3 schools more or less. Or if the school have a lot of kids to need, we make two groups. Because we make the groups with the age. But usually we go to the primaria mainly, so it's the younger and the middle age how we make the groups.
Second question. Um, uh, 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 do you work with adults too?
Not really. We can do it if somebody tell us somebody needs help. We can do it. Happy to do it. But mainly, the thing it happened is sad because when we are adults, we question everything. Why the therapist is asking me about my mommy? It's not her business. The kids immediately they tell you what they need to say, or if you make a question immediately they tell you. So that is the easy thing with the kids. You really can help them because they are open, they are not closed, and they didn't question a thing. It's amazing.
Yes, thank you very much. I know the therapy of working with clay. I was 12 years old, and I was in art class, and we had a project to make something with clay. Of course, I made an ashtray for my dad. But I was just wondering what projects with clay, what do they make?
You know, the thing with the art therapy is not about what they produce. It's more about the process. So sometimes they do because they have to. Some of them, you see, they make 10 drawings in that time and oh my God, this guy needs to express. Other times, they spend all the time doing one, or as I told you, many times playing with the clay, just playing with the clay. Usually is nothing produced, usually. But sometimes it happens. Yeah. But this, with this is no direction about what to do. It's more once the therapist understand what is the situation, they begin talking with them. Or, oh, what happened with your grandfather when you tell me, make a drawing about it. Or, oh, that time when you have weird situation, try to do a drawing with that. That is when the therapist is begin working directly. But mainly is just to help them to express. And since they are working, the therapy is talking. Obviously, is making codes to open and help to make the threads to work. They didn't know about it, but it's more or less how it works. But usually, it's not paintings or doing. Yeah. Oh, and another thing, I found a few no in San Miguel, in other cities, doing art therapy, they were having shows of what they produce, and it's like, what? Sorry, you cannot do that. This is their thing. They have it in their house. Many times nobody see them. They have it under the mattress or they burn it or whatever. So when you see these kind of shows, it's like, okay, only if you talk to them to do something for a show, but it's painting. It's not therapy. Just make something because whatever. Many people ask me, why you didn't raise money doing something? I say, I cannot show them. What we do is therapy. It's not painting. So I don't know if this guy is going to be the governor in some point and he's going to sue me because when he was 12, I have photographs of him. I cannot do it. And we sign agreement with the parents. Usually they said, anything you need, do it. But I say, no, sorry. We cannot show them. I cannot have photographs of them. And some people tell me, oh, why don't you make a thing and just they dance? And I say, do you like to go after your sessions to dance as we see you? You know, it's really difficult, this point and this kind of work, because people didn't see. They didn't believe. Oh, I want to go to one of the sessions. I say, okay, you can go. But I need to set up with the therapist and with the kids a session for painting. Just painting is what you are going to see. Because a session of therapy, nobody can be there. So that is many times one of my situations, my problems, because people look at me like, oh, and really you do it? Yeah, I can see it. Okay, let me organize. That they feel is kind of trick. I'm going to set up something for them like, no. So do you want your kid exposed? And he will cry because I say, obviously not. So, well, sorry, I saw somebody wants another question.
What type of training do your art therapists receive? Are
Can you,
there programs here in Mexico specific?
can you tell me? I didn't hear.
Are there programs here in Mexico specifically for art therapists?
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah. Now is one of the careers of being a psychologist, to be art therapy. Yeah.
So is it harder working with kids that are involved in the criminal justice system, like delinquents or gang members?
What we really found, we were just talking, we were rowing early. What we do, I hope, and we always hope that, is to work with them before they go into problems. We want to, we have to. The Independence School, as I told you, the drug is there. The parents sell. When we begin with the first group there, the week before, somebody killed the father of one of the girls in front of her house, because he sell drugs. He used to. Now he's in heaven, I hope. So when we found that you have to work, I don't know how to say harder, because it's just the same work. I think that you have to be a little more focused in helping them, because you cannot tell them, oh, this is bad, you cannot do it. No, no, this is not. You do it through the art, not through the advice. Once they open and they understand, many times they begin to talk to the therapist about, oh, but I don't know how to leave the drug or how not to use it. Then it's okay, go to another thing. So I don't know if somebody wants or have more questions. I'm going to be outside, please, and happy to have your doubts cleared. And thank you very much again.
So if anyone has any more questions for Oscar, he's going to be outside right afterwards. Thank you very much for sharing a very important work that you're doing. And maybe if you want to know how you can get involved or how you can help, please talk to him after this meeting. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. Have a great day. This meeting is closed.